Hello, I thought I'd share a quick little update on a remote control project I'm doing. So this is going to be a ESP32 kind of web-based remote. So you'll be able to essentially hit specific URLs based on the buttons you press on the remote. I did this nice little laser cut piece and LED here, on-off switch, mostly because I don't have ESP32s. The boards I have don't do deep sleep. Well, the board does fine, the processor does fine, but the board doesn't. So it'll run the batteries down too quickly. So I just went with a normal power switch here. But if you look closely, kind of in the back, you can see that if I take one of the top pieces and fit it in, it actually, right here, it runs in. So this is kind of a fail. So not only that, I'm using these little things that are called screw studs. They're also called Chicago screws for some reason, and I don't know why. And then you have a screw side, and then you have a flat side. So the flat side will be up. And these have caused a couple problems. These ones happen to be, I'll kind of show you the thickness. That's how thick they are. Nominally a 1/4 inch, probably actually 12 millimeters, which meant that this front had to be made out of 1/4 inch, even though I'd rather use something thinner. The Chicago screws come in 6 millimeter or 1/8 inch. I just didn't think to buy them that way. So that was problematic because the front, compared to the sides, front's a lot thicker than the sides. And then somehow, when I was looking at these, I needed another size. So I got my calipers out and measured very accurately and used that in my design. And we can see that they're, can you see that? You can see that that's 0.1, about 0.16, which is nice, accurate, and the laser cutter cuts quite accurately. And for some reason, inexplicably, I measured those and then I put 0.231. So not only is the power button in the wrong place, these holes are too big. And then, just to add more fun, I was cutting most of this out of leftovers, and I don't know if you can see the difference here. These are the top and bottoms. The one on this side is considerably thicker. So nominally the thin stuff should be right around 0.1, and it's I don't know, my calipers say 0.104. And this is probably 0.125. So 1/10 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. And guess what? If your CAD design is designed for 1/10 of an inch, it doesn't work when you do 1/8 of an inch. So normally I do pretty well when I get one trip to the laser cutter. I think I've been 4 trips this time so far. And I just went out and had to cut that new top. So let me do a little peeling here. So you use masking tape or some other mask on the front. The laser technically doesn't burn the fronts, but what happens is the smoke coming off is really very hot and the smoke burns the fronts. So if you don't, and I didn't mask all of this, let's see if I can find a piece. You see on this side, you can see it's kind of charred, and that's because that wasn't masked. And I don't always mask, but if you want something to look nice, you typically need to mask. So here's the new front that I cut on one of the trips this morning. So and that knocked out the holes. You get up to 1/4 inch, which is pretty thick. My laser cutter might be able to do a little thicker than that, but not a lot. And different plywoods have different cutability depending on the glue that they use. So now we can power off, and one of the nice things here is, in addition to cutting the holes, I actually got some words in, or engraved some words in. Scrape off the little leftover pieces. Any letter that has an inside, like an O or a B, that part of the tape stays on, so you have to kind of go back and scrape it off here. So that's what the plate ends up looking like. And let's just see how we did on the other stuff. I will probably be building a couple of these. This is kind of the proof of concept, partly because I wanted a proof of concept, partly because I don't have the raw ESP32 modules that I need, and partly because it's getting to be summer around here and we actually are sitting outside and would like to use this, and the other one was taking too long. So now the test. Ha ha ha. I don't know if you can see that on the outside, but you can see that fit is almost perfect. I think I went up just a little bit. And it's a little underneath, so it's a little recessed, which is what I expected because these are, not 1/4 inch. They're actually 12 millimeters. So that shows you what the front touch plate is going to be like. This will have a little 5 millimeter LED, power LED. So that's what it'll look like, and let's see if I can do the box part. At least enough to hold it together. Look at these sides, you'll see the cuts are asymmetrical because thin material in the back and thick material at the front. Common problems with the laser cut boxes is they're a bit unwieldy. Sometimes I tape them together. This one I haven't figured out how to make it openable because obviously there's going to be a battery inside. And I either need a way to charge the battery from the outside, which I could do, I guess, or I need a way of opening it up. So that's the current model. So you'll turn it on, the ESP will wake up, it'll connect to the Wi-Fi, it'll turn on an LED, and then you'll just hit the little touch buttons. And that's just using the built-in touch support that the ESP32 very nicely has. So that's where we are right now. I'll come back and do something when I actually have it like fully assembled with electronics in it.